Welcome to Crescent City with your hosts Natalie Jean and Jackie Zabrowski.
I was worried that you were going to be Rune, and then it would be sort of awkward because
Very
the entire scene is obviously it's a notable scene. People remember the scene.
Obviously, to the point that we both dressed as the same character and didn't know we were going to dress the same. I thought that you were going to be like, who the hell are you? How do you, and this is, and also I need everyone to know if you're watching, Natalie and I both separately, she came in, I had the green wig on, but I didn't have my dear accessories on. And I was like, you're never going to guess who I am. And, but she came in like this and I was like, interesting. I feel like I know who you are. But also weirdly enough, the character in it does not wear a green wig.
No.
But we both showed up wearing a green fuck me wig. And I think that I didn't know that this was my fuck me wig until I was gonna dress as this character. It does make sense because this is my Greta Gremlin wig. So
Right, and you do when you get her Greta energy in your body.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
You better watch out though, because she is Grebsy.
Yeah, and we are not, as the deer shifters, we are fawns. We are not grabby. It is very consensual.
Yes. We only like consent, but we definitely showed up to fuck.
Yes, we are party sluts.
Yeah.
And that is okay.
You
and
know
that's
I'm a party
positive.
slut because my shirt says
It says soup.
It says soup on it.
In rhinestones. And when I came in, sometimes we like to play the guessing game of who we're dressed up as. And I stared at her shirt for a good couple minutes saying, soup. Who likes soup? Who's like a soup?
What soup?
And then you said that it's not. Why
It has nothing to do with it, but I do want to be slurped up like a soup.
Oh, so it's sort of like getting the suggestion out to the room.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Natalie. I was too busy being seductive over here, so
your clam chowder's ready to go.
And it's steaming hot. And ooh, you better
It's
not
creamy.
put any cheese in it because that's against the rules.
It's New England clam chowder, not Manhattan.
Yeah, not Manhattan.
That means because Manhattan's period.
Yeah, you got to get your oyster crackers out for this one. You got to suck up a bunch of chum.
Wow.
Yep.
All right. Well,
and I won't be sexy for the rest of this episode. That was it. I got it out, even though we are both DILFs, and you are welcome.
I'm assuming deer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dear, I like to fuck. And I'm sorry. Well, dear.
Or we're fawns technically.
Yeah, so
filths.
we're filths. Yeah. Oh,
Filths.
actually, I love that even more.
Filths.
Yeah, because we're a little filthy.
We're filthy.
Yeah.
See, that's this rhinestone shirt that you should have.
Yes, filthy. And then you'd have to explain the jump to every, because people be like, I get soup, but filthy? And I'm like, it's like when you say let's get nasty, when you go to Nashville, right? It's just like that with the $sign.
Yep.
Filthy.
Yep.
Better watch out.
Filthy. I actually think that is more explanatory.
Yes.
Than just the word soup and rhinestones. I think is more confusing.
And I do want to thank whatever stranger that reached out and sent me this shirt.
It's pretty great.
And I believe it's because I used to say, you got to be soup with me all the time.
Yeah.
You remember.
I remember.
You know where soup lives in my spirit.
Oh, yeah.
And that's all up in it.
Girl, I'm a soup girl, too. We have a lot of the same weird foods.
Yeah.
Baby corn.
Oh, man, we can't be two of the most sexual beings while also talking about baby corn. We're going to upset everybody.
True.
Yeah, and I'll go,
barely legal corn.
And because that's me eating the kernels, because that's how I seduced him.
Mm-hmm.
It was me going, I'd like to get the little piece.
So you seduced Rune?
Yeah.
I prefer very much that we're both this character and one of us is not Rune. I do think that that's better.
Yeah, it is. And I'm very happy you didn't show up as Rune because while we would have gotten many jokes, I think it's so much more fun to just be party bitches together. And now I wish we had buzzballs.
Yeah, we should go to the bar after this.
Yeah, I really feel like it's going to be, I think, noon when we get out of here. And I think that's the time to start drinking because we filthy and we're going to try to explain this to someone in the middle of a weekday.
Who's sitting at a bar in the middle of the week. Yeah. We're going to make some new friends. We're going to be like that song
Piano Man.
No, I was thinking of all I'm gonna do is have some fun.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I got a feeling.
Yeah. I'm not the only filth. And thank you, Natalie.
No,
because
you're not.
If I was alone in this, I'd feel lost. And here we are. But I guess, does this mean we're competing?
Nah.
Or do we lift each other up?
Lift each other up. There's so many Fae boys out there.
Because this is the thing, like, especially that night, you know.
Oh,
We get
can
some
you
new
imagine
people entering the
how
chat.
handsome the Fae men would be at this party?
Oh, cha. We all have a bunch of mirthroot. Yeah, and we're not even mirthrooted up right now. What are we doing here,
Speak
Natalie?
for yourself.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay, this little bitch over here.
No,
You
I
don't
just
even
have
smoke
my
weed.
Flavored Town Waterloo
Yeah, which
in my coffee.
was disappointing.
A little bit.
It's a little disappointing.
A little bit. You know what's not disappointing?
This chapter?
This chapter.
Whoa.
Hunt, last we left, we have been reintroduced to Bryce and Hunt. They were at the Ballet.
Yeah.
They were horny.
Flirting.
But with her parents, so have to restrain. Very sexy. Also, even if the parents weren't there, there would have been a restraint because they are waiting.
They're in an opera box, please.
They're in an opera box. I mean, that seems like that'd be kind of a sexy place too.
Oh my God.
Because you're like alone.
Oh my God.
of.
Like the ACOTAR scene under the dinner table, but in the opera box,
Woo-hoo.
please.
Yes. But they didn't.
Please.
They have left the ballet now. We're in this chapter 2. I believe it's 2. So we're back with them the same night. They have both changed out of their ballet attire and are now in breezy summer clothes because Rune is having a raucous house party.
Hell yeah, mirthroot is rockin'.
Bryce is thinking about how she is relieved to have dropped her parents off at their hotel beforehand, as Ember was barraging her with questions. We're seeing the party through Bryce's eyes in this chapter as they arrive, and it sounds like a pretty stereotypical frat party, but with fantasy creatures who are 100 years old.
Hell yes. Get me there. Because that's
Sign me up.
right? It's like, I don't want to go to a frat party. I don't want to go to an actual frat party, but if we're talking like a magic frat party.
Where everybody's older? Yes,
yeah.
please.
Yeah, and everybody's like in their like possibly hundreds. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Sign me up.
I wish.
Yes.
I would choose that over a real world frat party any day of the week.
Yeah, because those are genuinely horrifying.
Awful.
I think I've only been to 3 or 4 in my life, and definitely 3 or 4 too many.
Yeah, no, I agree. Same.
Oh
No,
my
thank
God!
you.
Surprise! We're not frat girls.
No.
Are we not? Are we not Greek life? Do we not scream Greek life? Although we know a lot of people that did Greek life.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think specifically in the sororities that did a lot of good work. And I'm not saying that.
Absolutely.
I'm not disparaging all Greek life, but if you went to Florida State, which is very well known for how horrendous its Greek life is, you got a lot of judgments.
I would not. Neither of my colleges had frats or sororities, but I would have also never tried for it anyway.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little bit different.
Yeah, we're like not like the other girls. We're deer shifters.
We're deer shifters, and they would have never got it. Okay.
You don't know what we think about. It's grass. But no, I imagine she eats other things as well because she
Berries,
seems
right? Leaves?
Yeah.
Well, I know that Juniper the fawn is vegetarian,
Makes sense.
so I think they all.
I'm sorry,
are.
I keep saying deer. We're fawns.
We're
We're
fawns.
fawn shifters. We're not deer shifters. I get it in my brain. All right, and I see the world in black deer, white deer. It's very difficult for me.
Technically, we're not shifters at all.
But we're part. She's got hooves.
Yes.
Ah, my ears fell off.
Oh my
I guess.
God.
Oh my God,
Oh.
is that what happens? Did you just curse me?
Maybe you are a
You
shifter.
better curse my ass. Fucking curse your ass.
I won't.
Candace Cameron Bure, portal your ass. She thinks of the television as a portal. She thinks you can't watch scary movies because demons are going to come through the portal.
Well, I just saw her encouraging Russell Brand on his Instagram, so
You know,
she can
good.
go fuck.
I think, not enough people are encouraging
Yeah.
him. Wow.
Yeah.
A perspective we didn't know we needed.
She can go fuck off into the sun.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's listening.
Yeah, she is. I'm sure Candace Cameron Bure's really into reading fantasy fuck books.
Yeah, really about, women's pleasure.
No, she's damning us from wherever, hellscape she lives upon. She's damning us currently.
Boo to the Camerons.
And it makes us stronger.
Yeah, thank you. I enjoy it. But so they're at this party. It's like the best case scenario frat party. And to be honest, there is nothing to me better than a late summer house party with like people you actually really like and know. And there's like a warm breeze in the air at night.
Especially literally, since I'm going to be going to a party hosted by my brother and sister-in-law this weekend. And I will say, it's also like there's something about going to a brother's big party too, where you're just like, yes, it's like my space, but it is not.
And you're safe.
So it's perfect.
Yeah, there's no real threats other than the huge birds. But
oh my God. And it's like, if you guys could just put them in a cage or, like give them something like barb them to put them to sleep.
It's their house. We're just living in it.
I know. It's very Jurassic.
Bryce is feeling self-conscious because Rune told her it would be a small get-together, which it is not.
Big party.
Big old party. She and Hunt are getting gawked at, which we've kind of already addressed in the opening of the book, that she is being seen and perceived now as the savior because she technically did save everybody. But
she doesn't want it.
No, she didn't ask for any of this. She just wants to be a normal girl, and she can't be.
Meanwhile, we're over here like, bitch, please.
Make me less normal.
Yeah, please. Help me out.
But she's looking forward to seeing Fury and Juniper, who have also made it out to the party. She's having a hard time concentrating with Hunt's muscles on display in his black tank top.
I understand. I do cartoonishly like a wolf every time Jeff, like even if he's changing, if he takes off his shirt, it's like, it makes my ears fall off. That's how excited I get. My ears fall off.
That's gotta be sexy.
Yeah. And am I gonna keep putting the ears back on? Yes.
You have to.
No matter how many times, because that's dedication.
You would look ridiculous without
them.
Yeah,
I'd be like, with just hooves?
Just hooves?
I don't think so. Just hooves, just not to DMX.
Just hooves and a soup shirt. So
Soup's up. Oh, that's what I would say as I opened up my legs.
Soup's up.
Soup's up.
Oh, God. Yeah, there's nothing sexier than connecting your genitals to the smell of soup.
Yeah. I'll say, get spoon deep in me, bitch.
God, it's getting grosser.
I'm sorry, it's soup. It's not my fault. It's soup's fault.
It is soup's fault.
At least it's the summer, so you're not going to go home and eat a bunch of soup, and think of me. Think of me. Think of when you eat the soup at night.
Thank you for also putting Phantom of the Opera in there.
You're welcome.
I do eat soup in the summer because I am a soup bitch.
Oh my God.
And so I'm going to not today.
You are not like the other girl.
I'm really not. So she is trying not to drool over watching Hunt in his black tank top. And I say hachi machi to that. There is no way they're making it to the solstice as they had previously discussed that they were going to wait until the winter solstice to copulate, and that's not going to happen. Because I don't believe them.
No, because her tongue is cartoonishly on the floor, Flap, 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 flap.
Which, fair.
Chop.
Fair.
I would be.
As they make their way towards where Rune and his boys are playing beer pong, someone plunks some First Light necklaces around their necks.
Oh my God, we're partying. Oh my God. And Natalie did think about the First Light necklaces, and I appreciate you. Thank you for looking out.
Of course.
I don't even know how I put it on with my hooves, but, I'm pretty adept with them.
I'm pretty sure you would figure it out after you had them. I also don't know if they have hand hooves, but I like that yours does.
I feel like you got to give a little hoof. Uh-oh, it's a singing episode.
No.
Sorry, once I pop, y'all know the fun can't stop.
Give a little hoof of my glove to you.
Aw, yeah.
Yep. They appear before the Fae. So they walk in, they greet Rune, and Rune is busy being all hot with a cigarette between his lips. Oh. I'm a Rune girl, you know that.
Bro, oh, fuck. Never mind. I haven't given you a Christmas or your birthday presents yet.
My birthday presents?
Yeah, they're in the car. They've been in the car for 6 weeks. I have you and Henry's birthday presents, but I guess I just gave something away that has something to, there is something in there that has something to do with Rune hybrids of the Malbarn Fae. So
whoa.
I don't want to go out and get it, but I'm not going to stop the episode.
Is it melted in your car, whatever it is? Because it is the summer. And my birthday was a few months ago.
It is not melted in the car. Did one of the things already get destroyed because I wasn't thinking about that? Yes. But I really kept thinking I was going to see you or Henry. And here's the thing. We live 2 minutes away from each other. We all work together. I've seen them plenty of times. And yet, where do the presents? In fact, Jeff opened up my bag and he's like, these are still in here? I was like, well.
Listen, I love a surprise present. I have 2 presents for your mother that have been sitting in my house since Christmas time. And
but then it just extends it. And isn't that wonderful? I don't understand that people...
Surprise gifts.
It's surprise. I love a delayed birthday gift. It's great.
I honestly do. I think that's awesome.
Cha. Let's celebrate my birthday right now. Who cares?
Oh, fuck. I don't have any...
Give me presents. I am upset.
I didn't know. So, yeah, I like a very... I like a surprise, almost like it's like you are getting, what's it called whenever somebody...
attacked.
Sure. It's called attacked. That's what it's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay.
So they get some first light necklaces. They go greet Rune. He's being hot as hell. As she is greeting Rune and the boys, she's with Hunt and she kind of means to like kind of grab Hunt's hand because she's feeling overwhelmed and she accidentally grazes his wing. Which is as awkward as if you run your hands over someone's balls accidentally. So,
which we're always doing. It's just like, get your balls away from my hands then.
Yeah, maybe make your balls not being equidistant to my hand.
And I am victim blaming.
Yep. No, please don't do that.
No, I don't agree with it.
So obviously they're both like, because they're acting like little teenagers. And
oh my God, imagine if they touch the inside of my ear.
Is that...
Like, I feel like that would be a lot,
might be.
I mean, in the same way that, I've been in a relationship for a long time, and I don't think Jeff's ever touched the inside of my ear before, and I prefer it that way.
Yeah, I would kind of be like, stop.
Yeah, please don't.
Maybe
okay,
some people probably like it.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine there's something out there for everybody.
Oh, yeah. Some hole will fit ya. Some hole will thrill you.
Christopher Columbus having sex with manatees, yeah.
Oh no, not again.
Sorry, it's making its way through everything that I do right now, so I do apologize about that.
Is there a document or historical account? Like, what is this? Or are we just shading him?
I mean, definitely shade the fuck out of him, which is why I do continue saying it. But word on the street is that they thought they were seeing mermaids.
Yeah.
And so they thought from afar that the manatees were mermaids. And while that makes a lot of sense, the internet has taken it and has said that they were all having sex with the manatees because they were thinking that they were mermaids. And I don't wish that upon the manatees at all. But fuck Christopher Columbus.
Sure.
And so I guess, I wish that the manatee could like eat them like cabbage. Like I wish that but they're so gentle. They're sea cows. They're gentle sea cows. I love manatees. This is why I bring it up.
I love a manatee.
I love manatees.
Don't look like women, but they did think that they were half human.
Curvy bitch. You know what I'm saying? Well,
okay.
Like, yeah, man.
Okay.
Fucking yeah, man. Yep. I get it. I don't want to have sex with manatees. My ears.
Don't want to break the illusion.
Thank you. I think it's just that what head do they make these ears for?
Probably a child's.
I guess, but my head is extra big with all the wig on.
I think it's because it's too expanded. That's why it's sliding.
I hate the fit of things.
I know, me too. So she and Hunt have this like kind of little bit blush moment, and then she tells him she's going to go meet Hunt and June and Fury after she goes speaks to her brother. So she kind of like shoos Hunt away. She goes and greets Flynn, Declan, and Rune, and we meet Declan's new man, a leopard shifter named Mark with a C, I guess French.
Yeah,
Malk.
like Anthony.
Milk.
Yeah, please say his name properly. Thank you.
He sounds like a total honk, obviously.
Of course he is.
Like Declan wouldn't be with the hottest
Cha.
man ever. Bryce is already acquainted with Mark and they seem to like each other. She recounts the ballet to Rune and we learned that June slayed and that Bryce had been brought to tears when June got a standing ovation for her performance. She feels confident that June is going to be making principal this season.
Go far.
She's currently a soloist, which is the level below principal.
And what is?
So, the soloist is a really coveted part, but a principal is the one who gets the first run at the lead parts in all the ballets. Soloist,
so you could be a principal outside of the actual show. That just means you are a principal dancer. Okay.
Yeah, you're just considered the principal in the company.
Oh, cool. Okay, so it's not of the show.
No.
Thank you for distinguishing that. I was curious.
Oh, I'll talk about ballet all day. So sometimes people don't ever get out of soloist, or even the corps is the main bulk of the corps de ballet is the background dancers almost. But even getting into an American Ballet Theater or something as a corps de ballet, you may never get out of the corps de ballet. Everyone doesn't make it to soloist or principal. So to say
not good enough.
I mean, you have to be better than the entire world to even get into ABT or New York City Ballet or one of those, but you might not be what they want for the next level up. So even if you make it, to the corps de ballet and ABT, you're doing better than every dancer in the world, kind of.
But still, you're always striving for more.
Oh, yeah. Never good enough.
Never good enough. Oh, don't worry. No, why would we be easy on ourselves?
No. Especially, ballet encourage you to be perfectionist and never be good enough.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think they ask, it seems, they require more than perfection, which seems very stressful.
It's fun. I do think that there's many benefits to it. Ballet. I love dance more than anything in the world. But yeah, obviously there's some problems with it.
Yeah. But I'm happy that you have worked your way through the trauma that you had to endure.
It sucks just because any high performance art or athletic thing, it will come with these sort of thing. If you try to strive for a high level,
the best,
it's gonna kind of it's hard. It's hard to do that healthfully, but also it is healthy at the same time. I don't know. It's a lot. There's a lot of nuance to it, obviously. But anyway, we're at a party.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm busy getting eaten out right now, Natalie.
Yeah, these fawns are not blah, blah, blah.
We are not paying attention. No, we don't give a shit. We don't give a shit. The price is there. We don't give a we don't. Although at this point, I think, we're clocked in. We're looking.
We're on the prowl.
We're on a hunt.
Oh, yeah.
Which is interesting because we found, you think that we don't do that. But yeah, we go after a rabbit every once in a while.
Or we're wanting to be hunted.
Yeah, I guess.
So Bryce talks with the Fae Boys and notes during the conversation that Rune has become close with Ember again, which seems like it would be a significance to Rune. So they're kind of healing all of their family wounds in this beginning of the book. And it's kind of at this nice peaceful moment. Obviously, since it's a book, the second one, we're not going to be in this realm for very long, but we have this opening section of the book where they're kind of almost being normal. They're kind of reacquainting themselves with family and romance and all this stuff.
It's kind of like when the Real Housewives are at the end of the summer, when Brony, because at the end of the summer, they always start the seasons where they finish out it's usually Labor Day, where they're all in the Hamptons and they finish out their time in the summer and kind of wrap up the summer, and then they get into the drama of going back to the city. And so it's just like that.
So we're in the Hamptons in the summer. I mean, this is the end of the summer too. So
get thee to the Hamptons then.
Get thee to the Hamptons. I will never be there.
I hated going to the Hamptons.
When did you go to the Hamptons?
Because I used to have, when I was a nanny, I used to have to go with them in the summers to watch the kids. And so I'd be trapped in the fucking Hamptons.
I didn't know you went to the Hamptons with your nanny jobs.
Yeah.
Wow.
I did.
I've never been. I doubt I ever will.
Yeah, when you're trapped and kept in a cage because you're owned for months, it's awesome. And surprise, they don't pay you very much. But anyway.
Oh, God, that sucks.
Why aren't I a nanny anymore?
So after joking with them, she heads back to the living room where Hunt is already chatting with Fury and Juniper.
Hunt stood before them, wings held at a casual angle as he talked with her friends. He looked up as Bryce entered the living room, and she could have sworn his black eyes lit. She reined in her joy at the sight as she plopped onto the cushions beside Juniper, cuddling close. She nuzzled June's shoulder.
So she's getting the butterflies, looking at her man that she's not going to touch for whatever reason.
Because she made a boundary, okay?
I know, and I get it. I do. She heaps praise upon Juniper for her impeccable performance that night. Fury cuddles with June as they all talk, and Bryce feels really happy for them, but is also fantasizing about that being her and Hunt, and she's kind of questioning why she made these choices, but I think maybe she also feels silly for maybe reneging on this big proclamation she made to him after this, like, you know, I want to wait. And then suddenly she's like, actually, never mind.
Yeah, but what if we just fucked instead? Also, it does go to show how much closer she and Juniper have gotten in this interim, too, with, like, the nuzzling in this moment. And just every time I read stuff like this, I'm like, can you imagine if I came up next to you and started nuzzling on your shoulder? And we're very good friends. We're family.
Yeah.
I can't imagine nuzzling on your shoulder. Like, I thought about doing it even just, like, to be funny. And I was like, not because you're yucky. I just can't imagine putting my face on your body skin.
I had those kind of girl friendships when I was in my 20s. I don't know if you did.
I never did.
Oh, yeah. I had those for sure. I mean, we were like we were party sluts. Like,
yeah.
This
then
is
you're
from
like a pile of
experience.
puppies then, right? Because then it's just like,
yeah, and you're hooking up and doing whatever.
Yeah. And wearing soup shirts. Did you usually wear shirts that said soup on them?
I did have almost this exact shirt, but it said trash on it.
See, this is the thing. I also used to have a cursive necklace that said filthy on it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like but also now I need to get one that says filthy, but I won't. Then you'd really have to explain. People like say filthy. I'm like, no, it doesn't say it's filthy, but
this shirt is making me think of that tank top because it was a black tank top with glitter writing that just said trash on it.
God, that's great.
And that was something I wore all the time.
Yeah. You know, I'm glad that you take better care of yourself now, Natalie.
Now my shirt says treasure.
Oh my, Natalie. I put my hooves together for you.
So she's kind of just like, we're all recounting how June was crushing it in the ballet, and Bryce is feeling a little regretful about what she said, but she's also just like, well, we'll get there. We're working through we're getting to know each other. And honestly, they were going through like 16 different traumas when they were meeting. And so I get the idea of let's pull back and just try to be normal and get to know each other. Yeah. Because it seems like they're both kind of thinking this is going to be a long haul situation. So I think that's really romantic. Again, can't relate, never done that. But I think it's a beautiful idea to wait.
To try it out, just get, and also even in a way to like create anticipation, even in a relationship, you can be like, what if we're not allowed to have intercourse?
Never
for
tried
30 days. Oh, I couldn't. But like, I imagine if you like wanted to try something like that,
sure,
it would be fun. And also like, then you ramp it up and then it's all, it's all the edging and everything.
Oh yeah.
And that is, I think, a fun choice that you can do at any time if you both agree and are down with it.
That's true. Yeah. You can do consensual, even
that's
with your partner.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like do like a consensual thing of like, okay, well, we'll only go so far for this amount of time.
Try to picture Henry's face if I say, we're not going to have sex for 30 days. It's going to be hot.
Can you imagine? Just a little. What? Or maybe, just say it to your partner just to like see what they would say. Just to like have a fun. I'm like, what would you say to do something like that?
Try to pitch it in a way that it's like, this is going to be so erotic and fun.
So sexy. But
and they'd be like, oh, yeah. Oh, man, that sounds awesome.
But if you were like leading up to like an anniversary vacation or like something that like a weekend or something like that it's like, and then you go like, I'm sorry, fawn wild. I was about to say hog wild, but no, you go fawn wild on him. And that sounds like a lot of fun.
Maybe if we do that, we'll do that for like our 10-year anniversary or something.
Yeah, but then just go like 36 hours if you can make it. You know, it's like if you can do 36 hours, then it's like, well, then that's like a, you know, it's like a mini THC break.
Yeah, for sure. So Hunt offers to get Bryce and himself drinks, and so he like wanders off to go to the bar, and then Fury and June immediately begin their gossip corner with Bryce, asking how it's going being non-physical, because they can see she's obviously thirsting for him in front of them.
Yeah, they're like vibrating for each other.
And so the two of them are kind of like jokingly being like, how's that going for you? And she glares at them as they can clearly tell she's dying. Fury continues to tease her, and Bryce foolishly kicks her with her sandaled foot, only to yelp with pain because Fury at the party is dressed in full leather and steel-toed boots because she's a mercenary, you know?
Forever the mercenary.
Can't take her out. You can take the mercenary out of the danger zone. Can't take the danger zone out of the...
Hell no, we talking about a pussy. The danger zone.
Man, I would watch the tape of Fury and Juniper.
Ooh,
holy moly.
Baby, would I? Please. Just give me just a section of it, please.
Ooh, that dominating Fury. Ooh. But she's still gentle. Like, she loves Juniper. So she's never, like, cruel, but, like, very in charge.
Yes, but then it's like all the mystery and the intrigue around her, too. And it's just... Ooh. It would be difficult to be in a partnership with Fury. But, man, give me just a night.
Oh, yeah. I don't think Fury would be a good partner for me, but...
I need to know too much. In the same way that I always thought that I could be a mob wife. Like, I know I couldn't because I want to know everything. Like, I can't be like, oh, he's just gone for days. I don't know.
Right. It's like the romanticization of it is much more fun than the actual experience is probably kind of off.
Exactly. It's like, bitch, you can just wear tight leopard print dresses if you want. You know, you can go get long nails and wear a red lip and wear a tight dress. Like, you can just do that.
Without the oppression and like the covering up of the murders
and everything. It's like, you don't have to do any of that.
You don't have to do it.
But the money, Natalie. But think of the money.
I mean,
I don't know how it gets paid for. I don't know. I just know I have a roof over my head.
I don't know. I'm just a girl. I'm a lady. I'm just take care of the house, and I don't know. No, you don't need to do that. You're doing fine. You don't need that.
Oh, I'm just always a Jackie, never a Camilla. Carmela. Oh, how did I say Camilla?
I feel like Jackie's not that off of a mob wife name, right?
No, oh yeah, no. Jackie definitely very easily. And I think I'm thinking Camilla because like reading goddamn Spare. Prince Harry memoir. It's like a Camilla in the brain.
Oh, I do want to read that one. Is it any good? Oh, that's a silence. No?
It is, well, interesting. It's 17 hours long. And like Jeff said, he's like, Jackie Dune was like, the first Dune was like 20 hours long. So,
he's got a lot to say.
There's a lot to say.
Wow, I actually thought it would have been the opposite. It would have been like an hour long.
No, I listened to 6.5 hours, and that was still him just getting to graduating high school.
Oh, okay. Well,
there's a lot.
That's a lot to contemplate.
Yep.
Fury says she needs to be able to defend her girlfriend, which is why she is wearing that fit with the steel toes. And Bryce watches June beam as Fury kind of publicly claims her, which is very cute.
Yeah, I got to take care of me.
She wonders what she and Hunt are. Very stereotypical, but you know, the idea, it's more
she's at a party. She's staring at him from across the way.
And it's not like she's like doing the like cheese ball, like, are you gonna come at me? Like, she's just saying, okay, this is the Umbra Mortis. Do I call him my boyfriend? That feels weird, but I don't want to call him my man friend or my male friend.
Yeah. But also, like, you can't say partner yet. So it's like, really? Even though you guys are together, obviously.
So, like, she doesn't know what to say about him, and maybe that's okay. You don't need to label everything.
Nah,
that's
man.
all I'm saying.
A situationship can just be a situationship.
But theirs is a very serious, long-term kind. They just don't know what it is.
No, it's an intense situation.
Yeah, it's not even like they don't want to commit. It's like they feel so feelingly towards each other.
Well, and also like their whole, like the bedrock of the foundation of their world was just rocked. So also coming back from that and picking up the pieces and knowing that, like, you know, essentially the archangels are like, and you better not fuck up again. And we all know that's just begging them to fuck up again. Like this. So I feel like while this has such an, like a community part of it of like, oh, everybody's coming back together. We're all starting back. It's like, but you're starting at a deficit from like where they were at the top of the first book. Yeah. So everything is tense. Like everything, the whole, like everybody just got rocked. So it's still like, it's a party. But still in the back, I mean, kind of similar to everything that's happening right now, where it's like no matter what you do, everything in the back of your mind is kind of steeped with how horrific our reality is.
Yeah, it is.
You know, so I feel like there's still that air of it.
Oh, absolutely. And actually, we'll talk about it in a second. They have this conversation. But just as they're kind of, you know, making fun of her about her and Hunt returns, so they have to kind of end their gossip sesh. And he hands Bryce her drink, and she feels the electricity of being near him. They all raise their glasses and cheers Juniper's triumphant premiere as the danseur.
She gotta ride the lightning. Yeah, come on.
We cut over to Hunt's POV at the same time, and he is barely containing his boner. His emotional boner, I should say. He's not creepily at full mast in the middle of the party.
You sure about it?
Yeah, I feel like that would be really weird.
No, I feel like he has ultimate control over himself, which is also very hot.
But the restraint is hard at the moment because he is thirsty.
Yeah.
But as we cut to this POV, he is thirsting over her, and he is trying to control his thoughts, but is thinking about the sight of her in the ball gown earlier, and now is trying to not gawk at her legs. She catches him gazing at her and doesn't seem to mind it. But he knows the deal, and he understands why she's asked him to wait.
Let's take things slow, she'd requested. I feel like we tumbled into all of this, and now that things are getting back to normal, I want to do this right with you. Get to know you in real time, not while we're running around the city trying to solve murders.
So that's him kind of thinking about her, what she had told him.
Because they have no stability yet. And it is hard to be vulnerable and to really truly open up and be vulnerable when you don't have that stability right at that moment.
Yeah. And he respects her. He's not mad or irritated by this, but it doesn't mean that he isn't practically rabid.
Which honestly, I think is sexy. I feel like there's a level of this where if he was like sex pessy or like, oh, no, you don't want to fuck me. Oh, like,
come on.
You imagine how, like, I feel like there could be that reaction, but I like that because of course he's perfect, that it's just that, like, just the right amount of like, because you also don't want the opposite of like,
be like, whatever,
okay,
it's fine.
All right, yeah, I guess I'll fuck you whenever, because that
sucks.
That's not what you want to hear either. So I feel like he toes the line.
He's constantly holding himself back. So thinking about those days when they both nearly died, however, sobers his thoughts, and he acknowledges that her halting their physical relationship is probably also related to her being deeply affected by survivor's guilt and the toxic need to take the blame for all of the deaths she couldn't stop that day.
But
so
think of this big, thick man thinking about all of these things. Oh, thinking about her perspective. Oh, putting himself in her shoes. Oh.
He's got a thick brain and a thick thigh.
Oh, God, I love Hunt.
Bryce leaves Fury in June and pads over to Hunt, asking him if going to parties makes him feel gross. When he asks what she means, she discusses feeling this guilt and almost like resentment about being at this fun party and seeing these people have almost like seemingly a carefree time when there is so much darkness and suffering in the world. And obviously I didn't save any lives, but I get the idea of like being immersed in these like really dark news stories all the time, especially my other show. And like the guilt for feeling sorry for yourself and then being like, why do I feel like I shouldn't feel bad for myself having to do this because they're living through it.
Right.
And also, should we be smiling ever? There's so many like horrible things, and just seeing the news every day as any person just watching what's going on.
It's so difficult to not compare your current situation and just be like, how could I ever complain about anything?
Yeah.
But it's also the comparison of difficulties that will, rob you of so much processing and growth, because anything that matters to you that is big for you is still a large challenge, no matter what other people are dealing with. And there's so much guilt. Like, I'm also speaking, I talk about this with MJ a lot about like the idea that I appreciate that MJ as a parent never says like, your struggles are nowhere near as hard as mine because you don't have any kids. And that is not what I get from them at all. But oftentimes,
I could never even imagine MJ saying
no,
that.
But oftentimes people do, it's like that kind of thing of like, you'd never get, and it's like, you're right, we have different lives, but that doesn't mean that one person's life is way less difficult.
For sure.
It does mean that it's way less difficult, but it doesn't mean that you're not allowed to complain about it or do something to change
feel
it.
stressed,
yes,
or feel sad. And the opposite of that too is what I think Hunt brings into this conversation, which I sometimes struggle with, which is he says it doesn't bother him to see people laughing and smiling and not thinking about the world's ills at the party. He says, I prefer to see people enjoying their lives. And you can't assume that because they're here, it means they don't care. For all you know, a lot of them lost family and friends this spring. Sometimes people need stuff like this to feel alive again. To feel a kind of release. And yes, I do tend to agree with that.
Yes.
Because the guilt of like feeling safe or feeling comfortable in my life or feeling like happy at a party sometimes feel like there's a level of like guilt in that sometimes of being like, I made it out of my worst situations and then seeing other people in those positions. But he's right. Like,
everybody experiences grief and trauma in very different ways too. It depends on what you need or what you're going through. It also doesn't mean just because you go to a party that means you don't give a fuck about anything that happened either. You're like, he's right. Sometimes you need a release.
And I don't know if it comes from maybe I'm in a privileged place, but if people aren't able to find the smiles and the laughs and be foolish despite everything going on, what's the point of anything?
But also, I also understand when you're in the place where you're like, how could you? When you have gone through something of like, how can everyone do that? And that's okay too.
That's okay too, yes. But I do encourage everybody to replenish themselves. It makes you stronger for the next fight the next day.
Yes.
As comforting as Hunt has intended that statement to be to her, he is immediately hung up on his use of the word release because his mind is in the gutter. So he's being very like loving and considerate, but then he's just immediately thinking about cum because he's horny.
He's still throbbing, dude.
He thinks about Bryce's nightstand. Bryce's thoughts are elsewhere, and he tries to grind his feelings to a halt. She's like going through this emotional roller coaster, and he's like thinking about her vibrators because sometimes,
man, especially in those intrusive thoughts when you're just like, not right now. I can't do this. No, stop. But you can't stop your brain from jumping to places sometimes.
Of course not. And he's comforting her still, not just because he wants to get in them shorts, but also because he cares deeply for her.
Sure.
One could even say obsessed with her.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. And when he's honest with himself, he is still personally reeling from all of this drastic change and the new freedoms that he's been given. Though obviously he's grateful for them and very happy, he's going through these many, many emotions. It's very overwhelming, I assume, if you suddenly become free from servitude. That is a huge change. And
especially when your servitude is just being used as a lapdog to murder at will. Like that's, I think it provides a lot of anxiety for him, I imagine.
Maybe a little bit. And so he is kind of adjusting to Bryce and him becoming somewhat of a normies to an extent. He hasn't forgotten the words of the Asteri about taking it easy. Maybe, they should go to a Margaritaville cruise or something.
Oh my God.
Maybe he becomes a parrot head.
I don't need a Hawaiian shirt on like a big thick boy, but it would be so cute.
It would be cute
to watch Hunt Athalar trying to relax on an island.
Yeah.
Like just trying to see him, like him coming out with like a fruity drink and he's standing there
like this.
Like yeah, with the wings just like shooting out of it. It's like, yeah, I guess I'm having a hell of a time.
We need to figure out who Midgard's Jimmy Buffett is.
Oh, man, yes. Maybe Jimmy Buffett is just Jimmy Buffett, but he is a parrot shifter. Maybe that's what he is. And so he comes in with the parrot head and everyone's like, but then he can't sing when he's like that. And then he's got to shift back so that he can do the sing.
Oh, my God. That's so cute.
I love this for him. And, well, I guess I'm going to have to dig him up and pitch it.
Oh, no, he's dead. Maybe when you die, you go to Midgard. He's there right now.
Oh, and then Jimmy Buffett and I will be in heaven, and then we'll go eat cheeseburgers in paradise.
No, there's no cheeseburgers there.
Why? Natalie!
You're fun. You can't have it.
But I love to eat my friends.
Cows are the gods
Oh,
up there.
damn it. All right, fine. I won't be milking God for fun.
So with Hunt, as he's having these thoughts, is happy with the idea of the Asteri telling them to like be normal and lay low. He's not opposed to that whatsoever. He would just like to be near Bryce. But he is still doing work for the 33rd at Isaiah's request. They need the all hands on deck situation. The Asteri are deciding what Lunathian's fate will be now, as they need it to replace the Archangel. And so a lot of the angels in the 33rd and the Ox are kind of taking up a lot of the slack for the government. And so
imagine them complaining in the coffee room. Like, oh, and then somebody's gonna come kill the Archangel. Didn't even think that could fucking happen. And now I gotta work overtime?
But, you know, it's fun to have something to complain about at work.
God, it's just, you know, I happened upon some influencer on TikTok that was talking about how, like, you should never, ever complain because all that begets is bringing, like, difficult energy to you. You should never complain. Always keep it inside. And I was like, I don't know if I agree with that.
Has that person ever had a job?
What do you mean? Complaining helps. I feel like it's a little valve and you release the pressure. I'm like, I'm a slow cooker. And put a pot roast in me. You know what I mean?
You're allowed to complain. It's okay.
Yeah. I just immediately was like, whoever this is, I just put not interested. I was like, never anything like that ever again. Thank you.
It's different if you are only complaining.
Sure. Yes.
That's
and
different.
then I understand that, but you should be allowed to complain.
You got to let it out a little bit. So he is still working for the 33rd, but he is doing it on free will this time. And in fact, as he's pondering all this, he receives a text from Isaiah. Bryce notices Hunt's brow furrow as he's looking at his phone and comes over and asks what's wrong. He informs her that the new archangels have been chosen for both Falbara and Pangera. Hunt is looking at this news kind of suspicious. He doesn't think that these two choices are bad. In fact, a little too not bad. There's something sus about it. Something feels
with
off.
Them. You can't. I mean, we know we don't trust them.
So a male named Ephraim is headed for Pangera, and so that's Sandriel's spot. And for Lunathian is a female named Celestina. Celestina has only overseen a very small territory on another continent, and she doesn't even have a triari because of how small her little area is.
Oh my God, she doesn't even have a triari.
No, which is saying that
why?
Whatever she was seeing over probably doesn't have a lot of stake or conflict. And so she's sort of more of a figurehead, like a symbolic leader. And
okay,
why are they putting her in place of this massive continent, like this island with like cities and stuff on it? Fury and June are also overhearing this conversation, and Fury adds that, well, yeah, maybe you're suspicious, but if it helps, like, she hasn't heard anything bad about or insidious about Celestina for what it's worth. But Hunt...
Yeah, but even then, I feel like every, with a regular person, I know we can't, I can only speak for human beings, that I feel like usually, you want to know a little bit more. And when you don't know more, it's like, it doesn't mean that they're all the way nice if you don't know them well enough.
Sure. For sure.
Because you could say something bad about me. I think you could say something bad about anybody.
Well, sure. I mean, I would never say
She
something bad
thinks
about
she's
you.
a fawn shifter. Look at her. She's got hooves on her hands. Like, you can say that to me. I can take it. I'm not going to cry.
Oh, no. Jackie, I didn't say it.
Why did you say it, Natalie? Why?
I didn't say it. You said
I've got hooves on my feet, too.
Oh, God. She's got hooves everywhere.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a problem.
A little bit of a problemo. So
Man, you take off my shirt and it's just like hooves for breasts, and you'd be like, I'm not against it. I just didn't expect it.
That's body horror right there. So Fury I think maybe the thing that Fury adds to it is that she probably has intel on everybody, and so she has not heard any secrets so far about her. But Hunt is suspicious that some angel that is so seemingly nice would be tasked with Falbara.
Mm-hmm.
Could that be your trauma emerging, Hunt? Maybe.
Or the hundreds of years where they proved that is true. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Bryce attempts to comfort him, suggesting that maybe it's simply a lucky circumstance that it was she who was available.
Girl.
June seems inclined to agree with that line of thinking, but Hunt can't let go of suspicion right now. And honestly, that's fair to be suspicious. Some PTSD is...
Don't be suspicious. Don't
No.
be suspicious.
Yes, be suspicious.
Be suspicious.
Some PTSD is rearing its ugly head, and Bryce seems to notice. She moves slightly away with Hunt and takes his hand. Reminds him that he is free. He doesn't have to do anything Celestina might ask of him, which is what his thoughts are going towards. This is this new factor. I don't know what is going to be for my life. And he's having that, I've been forced into work for hundreds of years and he's not right now. But like, you can't, the mind doesn't always allow you to understand that.
Especially when a huge change happens. Like, I mean, any change, it's difficult to get used to. Even if it's a positive change, it's always going to be difficult. So, like, yeah, how do you learn how to trust again? Especially because, like, it's not like he got a new job. He's just not, like, a slave assassin.
Right.
He is now just choosing to work with them. So it's not like, oh, his life is completely different. How do you not think about that every day when you go into work? About how they sawed off your fucking wings in the lobby of your job.
I do feel as though if it was the real world, the healthy advice would be to not work there anymore.
Move away.
But
yeah, I tell them to go somewhere else for a little bit.
Hunt must help and must be there and be strong.
It's also what makes me love him.
Yeah. But so Bryce is reminding him just how, like, kind of almost helping him, like, breathe and be like, you don't have to do anything she might ask. You can always quit. You can quit your job now, and that he is using his will to help the 33rd. He knows she's right, but it's still very obviously tense. She tries to lighten his mood by calling herself the super powerful and special magic starborn princess who will protect him.
It's very, very sweet, Bryce, and it's a very cute moment, but he's also like, you know, I know you're at a party, so this really isn't the time to, like, have a tete-a-tete that really gets intense. But a tete-a-tense?
Tete-a-tense.
It's a stretch. I'm sorry I said it. But, yeah, I do also part of it where it's like her just being like, babe, I'm like a princess. So, like, let's just get drunk.
Yeah.
So let's just how about we, you know.
Yeah. And she also means it. Like, she is Bryce. So she says, I'll fight for you. And he's like, yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. So it does shake him out of his worried thoughts a little. He marvels at Bryce in his thoughts, reflecting on how Bryce has begun getting magic lessons from Rune weekly, which he is immensely thankful for, since it will offer her protection in this sort of hostile world. Her power is now massive, thanks to that gate supplying her with everyone's power sweat, which again, to me, reminds me it's very similar to how Feyre was imbued with power, if you are an ACOTAR reader. So now she has all of these different powers inside of her. Hunt wonders how deep her power truly goes with the horn added into the mix, because again, it's tattooed on her back.
Mm-hmm.
But he knows she's not going to get a chance to really experiment with that anytime soon, since the Asteria is paying close attention and they don't want any trouble. So she has not actually examined how deep her powers go since everything happened.
Everything.
They rejoin the convo with Fury and June, and Fury and Hunt do agree it is a strange choice to have Celestina come for the, because Valbar is very sought after, and so the world's on the brink of war. Why are you bringing this lady in? And maybe there is some like ulterior motives with it.
Also, I would feel so good that Fury also agreed. I'd be like, thank you.
Yeah,
okay,
right?
Fury fucking agrees with me. Please, Bryce, can we?
Yeah. Hunt studies Fury in this moment, wondering who the hell she really is.
Well, we've got a couple of theories.
Mm-hmm. She has human ears, but he knows if she's a veneer for sure. He doesn't know what house she's from, but guesses Flame and Shadow. She's a very mysterious figure. Regardless, as the four of them discuss Hunt having to meet with Celestina tomorrow, Bryce tells him to maybe try going in with an open mind.
Right.
And maybe take his attitude from, quote, scary asshole to approachable asshole, which lightens his mood again.
Exactly. But also, it's like, have your guard up, but don't go in, because going in defensive is not going to help anything.
No.
Rune Dannon knew 3 things with absolute certainty. 1, he had smoked so much mirthroot that he couldn't feel his face, which was a damn shame because there was a female currently sitting on it. Number 2, he had downed an obscene amount of whiskey because he had no idea what the female's name was, or how they'd gotten to his bedroom, or how he'd wound up with his tongue between her legs. Soup's up! And number 3, he really fucking loved his life. At least, right now.
Rune!
Hooves up! Put your hooves up!
Put your
Put your hooves up! Except not your hand hooves. Put your feet hooves up.
Oh, they're going to say your breast hooves.
But also breast hooves. Yeah, whatever hooves you got, raise them up.
Yep. So that is the start of chapter 3. And it seems like Rune.
No wonder. I just want to say that little bit, obviously, is why Natalie and I both separately chose to be the Fawn Shifters. And, but also we just happen to just be slutty bitches. And it's kind of fun.
It's just comes so naturally.
Oops.
So, yeah, this is a fan favorite entrance to a chapter. It is how we have the Rune's first POV of the book. He is engaging in oral sex.
Yeah, you engaging.
And he is having a fun time.
Slurp,
which,
slurp.
Makes you love him more because he is providing the pleasure and he is enjoying
and that he's not even thinking about what he's gonna get. It's literally just like, I don't know who she is, but she's sitting on my face and I'm eating the fucker. That was great.
So he is in his thoughts at the beginning of this chapter, and he is currently entertaining this sexy fawn who had propositioned him downstairs in the party room.
As we are wont to do.
Yeah. So it's made clear in the writing that she was the one who asked him, and he said, yoink. And they went up to his bedroom. I freaking love, this is how we're greeted with Rune in this book.
Yeah, it really, it made me not, when I didn't have as much of a crush on him in the first book because of Hunt, and I was just like, I only had eyes for Hunt. That scene, made me perk up.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And also, I can be in love with more than one, okay?
You can be in love with as many characters as you want.
Thank you.
That's your freedoms.
Thank you.
We get a graphic description of this interaction, and I know we're behind on dudes grappling with erotica. That's my fault. We still need to do the final erotica scene from House of Earth and Blood, but I feel like this scene will also need to have its own dudes grappling with erotica.
Yeah.
So during his tryst, he wonders if he should be doing this as an engaged male. I don't know.
But it's like, I think it depends. I feel like if you had chosen the engagement, it would be one thing.
For sure.
I think then I would definitely judge him, but it makes me not judge him because he's being forced to marry someone he doesn't want to. So,
and also,
that's not cheating.
His betrothed has shown no interest. In him.
Yeah, she doesn't give a shit. So why should he?
But anyway, as he's engaging in this activity, she climaxes and she screams out, "Merciful Katana!" which I really would like to add to my repertoire.
I guess, but it's like, yeah, it's like trying to add in taglines of cum. You know, I think it's difficult.
I mean, it doesn't have to be during an orgasm. Just like, I want to add it into my
merciful Cathona.
Yeah, I'd like to throw it in there.
Okay, I like this.
He begins to proposition her with the idea of sex after she climaxes. He's like very satisfied with himself and feels like he's like enjoying watching her kind of like be overwhelmed. And then he's like, he's got a raging boner because he didn't get his end. And so he's considering the idea. He's going to ask her if she would like to then engage in sex.
Oh, you want to have sex with me?
And he's about to bust, but then suddenly Tristan storms through his bedroom door.
But busting makes him feel good.
The fawn shrieks in surprise. You call that a shriek?
Yeah, that's my shriek of surprise.
I think it would. Mine would be like, oh!
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely more like that. But I guess I just, that was my seductive way of shrieking.
You want to be seductive when you're scared.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So Tristan barely seems to notice the fawn. He's not ogling her. He's got some news for Rune, or at least a command. He tells Rune to get downstairs with his sword now. And Rune knows him well enough not to ask any questions. The fawn pieces out, and Rune, in his daze, he's obviously all stoned still, regrets not speaking with her more. But he follows Tristan down the stairs.
Bitch, you don't even know my name, but like I'm kind of fine with that.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
We were just don't worry. I ain't upset.
No.
I got what I came for.
He didn't, but like he's not mad about it.
He's not mad about it, which also, again, makes me like fall even more in love with him. And that is sad that like that makes me, that I'm just like, oh, and that he's not like, oh,
he's like, fuck you.
Because there's just, ew. Nothing gives me the ick faster. Ew. Of like, oh, any kind of that, none. Ugh. Have none of it.
None ya. So he's following Tristan down the stairs. Something's obviously wrong, but he can't notice anything as they're first walking. There's parties still raging on. And it feels just like ordinary at first, but as he continues down the stairs, his fadey senses pick up a buzz in the air.
His fadey senses.
That means he feels some sort of like foreign magic in the air. Declan, who is the tech whiz, if you'll recall, has a sensor detection system set up all around the perimeter of the house, and it's ringing all the alarm bells right now, which is why Tristan ran and grabbed Rune. Almost like there's some kind of weird manifestation of like a storm circling the house, which great. Can we just have a party? One time.
Right? And also just in all of this, it is still very funny to me, not to bring it up again. Almost every single character in the book are in these chapters, and we both chose to dress as the
Well, who was having the best time at the party?
I think you're right. We are definitely the ones that we're like the only ones that are having the perfect time here.
They all can deal with battles and stuff.
Yeah.
So Rune is still high and fighting the giggles as he stumbles down the stairs, but his body kind of jumps into sobriety when he remembers his sister is there.
Yeah, that's a pretty sobering effect.
Yeah. And this could be a danger situation related to her. He starts to pick up his pace down the staircase. From where he's positioned on the stairs, you have a straight view of the front double doors, which are open into the night. And then suddenly, the view to the outside becomes a void. And in his addled state, he's brought back to the portals the night of the demons.
Oh my God.
It's hell.
Cameron Bray.
Oh no.
Yeah, maybe she just read this book and forgot, and she was just like, that's why she thinks that televisions are portals for demons.
Can you imagine you're having a party and a portal opens and Candace Cameron Bure shows up?
Oh my God. I'm going to shove her back in. Send her back wherever she came from.
Back with you.
Ugh.
The rest of the party seems to also notice the darkness and the room goes silent. Someone turns the music off. There is something dark at the front door. Rune sees Hunt and Bryce appear. Hunt discreetly holding a gun at his side. Bryce now wearing Hunt's hat as they were doing some sort of flirtathon.
Mm-hmm. But this part, I remember when I first read it, it makes me think of like The Quiet, and when the sky goes green and everything stops making noise right before a tornado comes through. And I feel like that's kind of what they're experiencing, but in a magic sense. But then, of course, while Rena was like, oh my God, do they have weather phenomenons? But like they must.
Oh,
but
it's
then
the weather girl.
Weather girl. I got a little lost in thinking about the weather of Lunathi and being like, she never brings up the weather. I haven't heard about like any hurricanes.
I think we should have an LPN weather show, like that you report the weather.
Please.
You were almost a meteorologist.
Want to be a meteorologist.
Yeah, so I think you're right. It does feel like that in the air, and they can feel it coming in the air tonight.
Oh, no. Yes.
Rune,
and I was coming on the face tonight.
I know, right? Rune thinks gratefully that he allows Hunt to carry at his party and no one else. Fury seems to be gone. She's nowhere to be seen in this moment, but that doesn't mean she's not already on the case.
Of course.
I mean, she obviously is. We just don't know where she went.
Yeah, we don't know what she's doing, but obviously she's doing something to try and help this situation.
And probably to protect Juniper.
Mm-hmm.
A nice tableau is formed when Rune jumps down and lands next to Bryce and Hunt, and then Flynn and Dex step in from the sides, and they all line up in their hero poses, because that's probably pretty hot.
Yeah. A figure stalked from the darkness in the doorway. Straight out of hell. And in that moment, Rune knew 3 more things. 1, he wasn't looking at a portal to hell after all. Shadows swirled there instead. Familiar, whispering shadows. Number 2, it wasn't just the glow stick coiled around Bryce's arm that was shining. The star-shaped scar beneath her t-shirt blazed with iridescent light. Number 3, as a familiar golden-haired fey male strode from those shadows and into the foyer, Rune knew his night was about to take a turn for the worse. Hello!
Oh no!
And just think of what you saw last week coming through the door. And again, like a Candace Cameron Bure, think of how you would want to shove it back through.
Hello!
Get out of here! Whatever you think you are, get out of here!
I thought you were super cute.
No,
in that.
everybody was puking last week, and
They
you
were
know it was
not.
true. And
They haven't even seen it yet. Oh no.
at this point, they've seen it.
Yeah, they've seen it.
Oh,
now.
you've
Yeah.
seen it. Go check it out. And if you haven't, youtube.com/@LPNRomantasy. Come check out our YouTube videos.
We're doing a very soft launch of our YouTube channel, but thank you guys already for subscribing.
Yes.
We got past the 1,000-person mark.
Thank you so much. And we're looking to soar to new heights. So again, if you can go to youtube.com/@LPNRomantasy and give us a sub, it is free. And we want you to know when we're dropping new vids, because we are now dropping all of the Akatars, and we're dropping the first book of the Crescent City. But
And
we're
some of our live streams too, I think.
Some of our it's the game, the Throne of Glass live streams as well are up there. So now we have our own channel within the world of the network and a little bit separate. So go follow it to get all of your fantasy needs.
Yeah, so obviously we only got through chapter 3, but we're not going to be doing by chapter for the rest of the season because we will be in a retirement home.
Yeah, we won't. Yeah, we'll be doing book 3 in our 80s.
Yeah. But there's so much exposition and stuff we have to
in chapter 4 specific that we're going to be getting to,
and also just in these first couple chapters, we have to rehash everything that's just happened. We have to remind people of characters. We have to kind of, reiterate all the things we just did from the first book. So
we know y'all are along for the ride, and we always appreciate you.
So yeah, we're going to just start chapter 4 next week.
Hell yeah.
Please find us on YouTube. And also, if you listen, if you want to give us a review, I know this is a thing everybody says, but it actually really does help us quite a bit. If you want to give us a review, I'll give us the stars on whatever app you listen to. Please, really helps us. We really, really appreciate your time. And thanks, guys, for joining 2 little whorish fawns on this day. And I hope we like it. Yeah, we do like it. And I hope everybody gets to hoovin'. Or fingin'. Whatever you got.